and of course it's good to have you this morning. And of course right now we are talking about several things I'm going to discuss with you. This is the scoop with the Weatherman Coop, and it's called Why No Weather Radios Are So Important. And of course it's a video production from TWA, and it's to all who actually need to see this, which is actually everybody, including me. And it's an official Skywarn storm. I'm an official Skywarn storm spotter for the National Weather Service office in Morristown, Tennessee. Just in case severe weather is a big problem. Especially if there's any warnings or watches out across the area. I intend to help those guys out quite a bit. Let's go and get started on today's discussion. The current time is 8:05 a.m. and of course let me go ahead and get started on today's discussion with NOAA Weather Radio. First thing is what is NOAA Weather Radio? Well, NOAA Weather Radio is basically it's the voice of the National Weather Service, and of course it's basically whatever the National Weather Service issues, such as public information statements, watches, warnings. All that is transmitted from a computer to a transmitter standpoint, and it relies into the NOAA National Weather Service radio to actually bring you the important coordination as far as the watches and warnings are concerned. NOAA Weather Radio also covers quite a few weather hazards. It can also cover civil matters, such as law enforcement warnings, just in case someone is out missing, or maybe if there's actually someone wanted or whatever it may be in a serious case that might be a hazard. There could be a toxic waste situation going on, and NOAA Weather Radio is the only way to transmit all this information, not only online but also to transmit it to other people as well. So let's go ahead and discover NOAA Weather Radio. Of course, discuss what it does. NOAA Weather Radio is not only a lifesaver, but it goes to the National Weather Service after, basically, in severe weather situational cases. They always transmit severe weather information. First of all, starting off with issuing the statement first. Then they'll submit that statement. They'll send that statement from computer to the M1, or the Emergency Network Weather Information the Emergency Weather Information Network system, and then it'll go from the M1 system to the NOAA Weather Radio, as well as your cell phone, which is almost the last thing to receive. In any case of severe weather, the National Weather Service always tries to help those in danger, especially when it comes to watches, warnings, and civil emergencies indicated by the National Weather Service. And of course, a lot of times, what you're seeing here is basically a little bit of a layout or handout, if you will, regarding the situation of NOAA Weather Radio. Whenever the National Weather Service issues that following alert will go from their computer to the Emergency Weather Information Network system, as well as to other cell phones, and in case of definite emergencies. NOAA Weather Radio covers several watches, covers warnings, as well as alerts you of any impending danger that may threaten your area. It's always been good to have it that way. The National Weather Service is using a basic standpoint when it comes to the NOAA Weather Radio system, and of course they always do what they can do to provide all that information to the public, communities, and other people as well. So why is it so important to have no weather radio? Well, it's really important to have no weather radio because that sky there, before that sky happened, basically it looked like it was going to be an A-OK day. But you never know what the weather might do within an hour from now, or within 2 hours from now, or whatever it may be. You might be looking at something more along the lines of nothing threatening, and the National Weather Service may be looking at something that's going to actually happen later on in the afternoon or later on in the morning that might cause harm or danger. And so they use no weather radio to transmit that information, just in case you can't get it any other way. So these no weather radios, they come in different shapes. They come in different, of course, they come in different types of color. And you can actually buy these no weather radios over at Walmart, Sears. You can also buy them at Radio Shack, maybe even the Dollar General store is where you can also buy these no weather radios as well. No weather radios are pretty good at exactly what they do, except there are some conceptions that interfere with no weather radio, and some exceptions that you can take with no weather radio. The conceptions is the actual wooded areas that you have to worry about, such as if there's wooded shaded areas or hilly areas, that might actually interfere with things such as your quality for the no weather radio. It might interfere with the interceptions, as well as any other thing that might happen due to the fact that severe weather is very possible, and the National Weather Service wants to do what they can to alert you of the immediate danger and situation. And to do that, they definitely use the no weather radio as a concept of that. It's pretty neat how they do things. The thing you need to do is know the facts about no weather radio. No weather radio is fixed on several different frequencies. Mine is fixed on 162.400 megahertz and 162.475 megahertz. Mainly 162.475 megahertz is what I use. When there is a definite storm situation, I usually go to my nearest closest standpoint and monitor the National Weather Service on the 162.475 megahertz, just in order enough to get my warning information, because mainly that serves my county and that serves my area. One fact that you need to know is that you cannot go both lines, you cannot straddle the fence on both channels of no weather radio. No weather radio has several different channels fixed on several different frequencies, and these frequencies are used for several different counties or several different areas, locations that cover so many counties. One thing about no weather radio to learn also is that when it comes to automated, activated, and pending danger, the National Weather Service will do tests, I guess if you will, during hazardous weather situations, such as if there are, such as today is Wednesday. I think the National Weather Service is going to do their test today on mine, and of course, when it comes to that situation of expected weather, that's what they have to do sometimes in order to get your attention, and of course in order to keep you updated and alerted of the latest situation. So what are the jobs of the National Weather Service? To save lives and property. They always try to let you know exactly what is ahead of the storm. The National Weather Service is much more higher than I am. I'm just a forecaster for the Chestnut Ridge weather line. I am not a meteorologist by means. I am studying to get my meteorology license, or my meteorology degree. And of course, I'm a storm spotter for the Morristown National Weather Service, and I'm very proud of it. Very proud to help them out during severe weather threatening conditions. So basically that's it. The other thing I want to discuss with you is about the SAME coding signal device they now have on no weather radios. You can get these SAME coding weather radios over at Walmart, Sears, Radio Shack. Basically, it's not on, but I'm going to try to walk you through it a little bit here. There you see the menu button. Let me go ahead and get a little bit closer there. There you see the menu button. Now that menu button actually gives you the opportunity. This is where you basically enter your code in. You'll go push and then push again. It'll say different things. Like I said, my weather radio is not working, so I ain't got my battery on it, but I'm just walking you through it. And then we get to you'll come to these minus signs here, and what you do is you just press select and you enter your code in. You'll come to the point where it's time to enter your code, and of course go from there. It's SAME. It's the SAME coding signal alarm device, and of course that's whenever especially automated equipped receivers are activated on the code. Like my code here in Tennessee is 047, and I have the 3-digit code behind that. It depends on what your code really is, and of course how it works out and stuff. The basic thing you need to do is talk to the National Weather Service about your code information. Talk to them about what no weather radio serves your area, and I'm sure they'll give you a little bit more details in depth of how all this happens. Well, that's it for this morning. I hope everybody enjoys this brief presentation. And always remember that to get a no weather radio, because it's the most important thing that you need to have in your family office. It saves lives as well as helps those out in need, such as during severe weather threatening situations. You don't want to go like probably a couple of counties away, think you're going to go fishing, and all of a sudden you don't know about the flooding that's going on right across the river from you. So it's always a good idea to know to monitor no weather radio and listen to all the latest situations on the watches and warnings. Have a great day, everybody, and of course, like I said, I appreciate you all for watching.
I am so high, I can hear heaven. I am so high, I can hear heaven. Oh, but heaven, no heaven, don't hear me. And they say that a hero can save us. I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles, watching the hope fly away. Someone told me love will always save us, but how can that be? Look what love gave